guys get to hear Taylor's birth story, her birthday. She loves hearing it all the time, and I always tell it on her actual birthday. So I'll start over. It was February 3rd, 2020, and it was well into the night, maybe about 11 o'clock, and my tummy was hurting extremely bad. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh my goodness. And so it got to be about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my tummy was still hurting, and I said, let me go wake up Daddy and ask him. And I said, Daddy, I said, John, I said, what do contractions feel like? He said,
I don't know, because he's a man.
He said, I don't know. Of course he doesn't know. He's a man. He can never have a baby. So I was like, oh, okay. And he goes back to sleep. And I can't rest because my tummy is still hurting. You know what I decide to do? I decide to wash clothes. Then I dried the clothes. Then I folded the clothes. And then I put the clothes away. But it was still, tummy was hurting. At this point, it's maybe about 5 in the morning. And I said, you know what? This could be actually something. Let me take a shower so I'm not stinky in case I have to go to the hospital. So I took my shower, got out of the shower, still hurting. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the hospital. So I go wake Daddy up again. And I say, Daddy, I think it's time. I'm ready to go to the hospital. He said, if you say so. And he said, I'll grab the bags. So he grabbed the bags. We walk on to the car, get in the car. He drives me to the hospital. We get to the hospital and they're like, hey, Amira, let's check you out and see how far you are and how things are going. So they go back, they check me out, and they say, Amira, you're having a baby. And I said, my Tay-Tay's coming. We always knew her name was going to be Taylor McKenzie. I said, my Tay-Tay is coming, my Tay-Tay. So they take me up to the delivery floor. And I call my good friend Nikki, who was my doula, that showed up for me in indescribable, loving ways. And I called her when I got in the room and I said, Nikki, I'm at the hospital. I'm about to have the baby. And she said, I'm on my way. I'll see you in about 10 or 15 minutes. Auntie Nikki shows up. The doctor shows up. Mommy has Taylor. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she's crying. Is that what you did? And they lay that little baby on my chest. And I'm like, oh, she's so sweet. And then the doctor, he's like pushing on my stomach. And I'm like, ow, that hurts. And he's like, that doesn't hurt. You women always try to make it seem like it hurts. And you make my nurses not do what they're supposed to do. And I was like, but it hurts. It really hurts. I know, mean doctor. But he was amazing. He got you here safely. And that was what was most important to me. So we get to the maternity floor. And I am starving, Taylor. I am super hungry. I can't even remember the last time I've eaten. And the nurse says, oh, I'm so sorry. The cafeteria is closed. And she said, I may have some crackers and juice at my desk. And I said, please, I'll take it. She brought the crackers and juice and I gobbled it up. And then she got ready to leave the room and she was trying to put a pacifier in Taylor's mouth. And I was like, no, we're not going to use a pacifier. Taylor never used a pacifier. No shade against it. We just didn't use it. And so she said, well, ma'am, you have to get some sleep and the baby has to get some sleep. I said, well, the pacifier is just going to plug her up. I want her to speak and cry and yell. That's her communicating with me. I need to know when she needs me. So the lady was just like, okay, ma'am, if you say so. She didn't really agree, but she had to listen because I'm the mama. And so when she left, she cut off the lights. I went to sleep. Taylor went to sleep. And we woke up. By that point, I think it was about 11 o'clock that night. And so we went off to sleep. And at 8 o'clock that morning, they bought me breakfast. When I tell you, I was so happy. I was so happy. What did I have for breakfast, Taylor?
Pancakes, bacon, sausage, eggs, fruit, apple juice, orange juice.
Ah, that's right, baby. All of that. all of it. Did you guys get that? She's heard the story that much. She knows everything I had for breakfast. So I gobbled that up. I inhaled it. Gobbled isn't the right word. I inhaled it. You had milk. You had milk. So I ate all of my breakfast. Then they brought me lunch. I ate my lunch. Don't remember what I had for lunch. They brought me dinner. Don't know what I had for dinner. And we woke up the next morning. Daddy picked us up and we came home. And 6 years later, we're in the car driving to school.
No, Mom, you forgot the car.
Oh, the car seat story? They don't want to hear the car seat story. I'll tell you that separately. But that's her birth story, guys. It's such a great story. One of the real reasons why it's so amazing is because the day before she was born, I had a doctor's appointment February 3rd. My age labeled me to be a geriatric patient. And so they were monitoring, making sure that I didn't go beyond a certain number of weeks. And on that Monday, she was born on a Tuesday. On that Monday, they told me that they were going to be inducing me because, you know, I think I was like 36 weeks or so or something like that. I can't really remember. And I remember leaving that appointment like, I don't want to be induced. I want to do everything I can for my body and everything to communicate. And it flowed that direction. So I went to the bathroom at the hospital or the doctor's office, and I had a conversation with Taylor in my belly. And I said, Taylor, if you want to come out unassisted without mommy having to have a whole bunch of drugs and a whole bunch of this and that, you need to make your appearance. And what happened? That morning at 2 o'clock, Tay started kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking. And she was born at 10 p.m.-ish on February the 4th, 2020. The best day. It's the best day. Always and forever. Love you, Tay Tay. Happy birthday. Ah! She's 2 hands now. She's no longer one hand. No longer just one hand. It's 2 hands. You are 6 years old. Have a fabulous day, you guys. And you too, Taylor. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.